Hey, what's up guys? It's Alec from Cichlid Bros. In today's video, I'm going to be giving a 2-month review on my brand new 220 gallon aquarium from Custom Aquariums. We're going to be going over my maintenance schedule and the different things I do for maintenance with this bigger tank. We're also going to be upgrading some equipment and I'll show you that. We're going to go through the fish and the stock list and the behaviors and the things I've seen with my new fish. We're going to even feed them a little bit. And lastly, we're just going to go over how much I like the new setup and the tank in general and just give it an overall review. So I can't wait to get right to it. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive right in. All right, so before we get started, here is the tank. It's 220 gallons. It's 6 feet long, 24 inches front to back, 30 inches tall. It comes on a 36-inch stand and with a 10-inch canopy on top. The stand, tank, and canopy were all made by Custom Aquariums. It comes with ultra clear glass on the front and sides. The back glass was painted black by Custom Aquariums. Also on the background, we siliconed in an Aqua Decor background, custom made by them to fit my needs. And one thing I really wanted with this background was an open back, so it gives some depth while also giving that rocky feel, and I just love it. It looks fantastic. With Custom Aquariums and Aqua Decor, I continue to be nothing but thrilled with what they did. So anyway, moving forward with my maintenance schedule and feeding, one thing I've had to get used to with this tank is how tall it is. I designed it that way. I'm a tall guy, I'm 6'3", so I wanted the tank to be a little bit more eye level. That's great for viewing, not quite so easy for maintenance, but that's okay, not a big deal. One thing I have to do is I need to get up and over the canopy to feed. So that is a little bit different, but it's also kind of fun as well. So that's the first thing I'll do. I like to feed before I do my maintenance, and then any uneaten food and waste, I can just suck that right up in the water change. One bit of equipment that has really come in clutch is this little step stool that I got from Amazon that matches the stand and tank in my basement perfectly, height-wise, for me to step on that and get up above the canopy. So this canopy is made without a top. So you can see I just keep my food up there. I love the canopy because it hides the lights and equipment on top, and it really makes everything look clean. One thing I really wanted to have with this design is that I wanted to hide as much equipment as possible. The canopy helps me do that. So without further ado, let's feed these guys. So what I do is I take a small lid. I feed almost exclusively extreme pellets these days. I go with 3mm extreme big fella pellets. Sometimes I'll just use those. Sometimes I will also mix in extreme monster pellets, which are 9mm, which some of the big guys enjoy a little bit more. And it'll keep some of the big guys away from the smaller pellets for some of the smaller fish in here to get a chance to eat some. So all I gotta do, move the light over just a little bit. And these guys did just wake up, so they might not be as ravenous as normal, but let's go ahead and feed them. Whoa! Maybe they are going to be as aggressive as normal. And as you can see, I just fed them and I couldn't even get the camera over here fast enough so you could see how fast they eat.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
So another thing that is typical maintenance on this tank is clean up after the fish make a mess when I feed them. I typically get splashed a whole lot, and you can see that here. It gets all over the canopy, and if you look closely, you can see a lot of the food gets splashed up onto the tank, and I'll have to clean that off as well. So fun stuff. So today's splash also got water all the way down onto the glass. So I'll just give that a quick once over. You can see these guys definitely make a cloudy mess every time they eat. All right, so now that we fed the fish, let's go over my maintenance routine. So first, back when I had my 125 gallon, all I did for water changes was I took this Cichlid Ultra Zero pump, which is 800 gallons per hour. I plugged it into my Python water changer and it worked great. And it actually works pretty good for this as well, but with almost double the water volume, I just wanted to look for something a little bit bigger. So what I found was this VivoSun or VivoSun 2600 gallon per hour pump, which is over 3 times as much as the Ultra Zero. So I would still recommend the Ultra Zero in its class, but as far as getting a lot of water changed quickly, this 2600 gallon per hour water change system is pretty awesome. So it's 1 inch to plug into a hose. The Python did not fit. So what I did was I got a 1-inch braided vinyl tubing, and all I do is I put the pump in the water, plug it in, and I run the tube. It's a 50-foot tube directly into my walk-in shower, and it just empties right out into there. No need to plug into the sink or anything, and it works out pretty smooth. Got my water change plug in here. Show you how fast this water comes out here. Really fast. So the pump has only been running for about 20 seconds, and you can already tell it is really pumping. So I got to turn off all of the equipment. I plugged in a little LED light up top here. Custom Aquariums comes with this, and all I have to do is hit this little plug-in or this little button, and it turns off all of the equipment. So now we can just sit back and watch how fast this thing drains. That was a 5-minute drain of about 60% of the aquarium water. So that's pretty awesome. So normally a water change and a little bit of glass cleaning is all I need to do for maintenance of this tank because the water movement is so great and circulation is good. The fish have been producing a lot of waste, so I do have a handy Python attachment that goes well with deep tanks like mine to vacuum when need be, and mine does need a little bit of a vacuum right now, so all I do is attach it to my typical Python and turn on the sink and we'll get it going. All right, so now we vacuumed all the waste out of the bottom. It's time to upgrade some equipment, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. With this Cichlid Extreme SDC wave maker, which is probably the best wave maker in class for this size tank. This thing can move up to 2,250 gallons per hour. It also is controlled by an app on your phone, so it's just really highly customizable and controllable, and it moves a lot of water. Okay, so we got the SDC installed, ready to go, and one more piece of equipment I'm gonna upgrade is actually not quite an upgrade, I'm just getting a new one. I've had 2 of these Fluval heaters for about 3 years now. One of them doesn't seem to be working right, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace that with this one because I do like this heater. I do think it does a good job. All right, so now we fed the fish, we removed some water, we vacuumed the tank, we put a new wave maker in, a new heater in, and now it's time to fill up the tank with some new fresh water. The best tool I still use for that is the Python water changer with the Python hook. I love this handy dandy hook. All I gotta do is barely lift up this canopy and it'll sit right on top of the hook, no problem. And then I just go ahead and turn on the hose. All right, so now I got the Python going. I got the fresh water going into the tank. Now all I gotta do is add some water conditioner. And what I use is Fritz Complete and put 5 capfuls of this in at the same time the fresh water's going in. All right, so the water change did just finish, so please bear with me with the cloudy tank. It will clear up. I got the new wave maker going. It's looking good. So I figured I would take this time to talk a little bit about the fish and how they're doing with the new tank and the bigger size. As you can see, everybody's looking great. Everyone's coloring up nicely and getting bigger. My Buccochromis rhodesii yellow is one of my smallest, but it is really blossoming in this tank. He's gonna be colored up in no time. My Bucco Noto also looking good. I love the Buccochromis family and they're just looking great. One of the most underrated fish I think I have is right here, the Demetiachromis kiwingi. The kiwingi has really colored up and grown up a lot in the last 2 months, and it's been awesome to see. My 2 newer fish, my Taiwan Reef in the back getting chased by my Tangerine Tiger. The Tangerine Tiger's been kind of terrorizing him. But another one I can't wait for a little more size on is the Venustus, who's really holding his own in this tank, even doing a little bit of chasing of his own. But I think his pop of yellow and blue will blend in really well in this tank. There's not been really one fish dominate the whole tank as much. In the 125, I was dealing with a lot of territoriality over the pile of rocks or even one whole side of the tank, especially from my eye biter. The eye biter has woken up a little bit in this tank and demonstrated a little bit of dominance, but no more than anyone else. The Fusco over here has done some of the same. The Niger Venter right here, one of my favorite fish, he's starting to color up and show a little bit of dominance. My biggest fish is the Malawi trout, but he's also one of my most peaceful, so that's been nice. The Malawi hawk will demonstrate some dominance once in a while. The Tilapia rhodesii also. So really it's just kind of a free-for-all where one fish will dominate for a day or two, and then different fish the next day or two, and it'll just kind of cycle on and on. But for the most part, it's pretty even spread. A lot of them are kind of hovering around me thinking I'm going to feed them again, but for the most part, they are freely swimming around the entire tank, which is great to see them utilize all this tank volume. And just overall, a review after 2 months, nothing's changed. I love this tank. I love the height of it. I love the ultra clear glass. I love the Aqua Decor background. I'll definitely be going through them again. And the equipment has been great. And I've been kind of upgrading the equipment as I go, as you can see today. Overall, could not be happier with anything about this tank. I wouldn't change a single thing. It is still my dream tank, and I'm glad to be the Cichlid bro with the largest tank. So game on, Troy and Quinn. See if you can keep up. There are more things coming for this channel that I can't wait to show you in the near future, so stay on the lookout for that. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.